All right, guys, the girl is exhausted from our Disney adventures yesterday, but it's football Sunday, so I'm going to do my pizza dip. I'm also making a porchetta and fondant potatoes with green beans, so y'all see that. That's going to be bacon wrapped on the grill. The porchetta is going to be stuffed with some sausage and herbs, and it's going to be delicious. But we're going to start on the pizza dip first in honor of football. My shirt, I love big sacks, tight ends, and a strong boot. With that being said, let's get into the pizza dip. All right, so to start the pizza dip, I have my oven preheating to about 325. My pan ready to go. Now I'm going to go over to the mixing bowl, and we're going to get the first layer mixed up. Okay, to our mixing bowl, we're going to add 2 things of cream cheese. Softened, preferably. Paddle attachment. I give this a quick little mix to soften it up. All right, just a quick little mix. I like to do that before I add my stuff in. I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl with Forky. To this, we're going to add Italian seasoning. Good amount of Italian seasoning. Salt. Because we're seasoning our fucking food. Some black pepper. A little bit of garlic. And some Parmesan cheese. All right, I'm going to give this a mix. Scrape it down. I'm going to add a bit more salt to this. Parmesan cheese has some salt in it, so don't over salt it. And a little bit of more Italian. I'm going to give it one more mix, and then we're going to get this into the bottom of our glass pan. All right, Chaos Besties. We are going to put our cream cheese layer into the bottom of our pan. And then we're going to chop up a green bell pepper and an onion for the toppings. All right, Chaos Besties. Got my handy dandy chopper. Pepper and onion. Fully diced up. All right, final layers in. I diced up my peppers and onion for the topping. You can use whatever toppings you want. This is just how I do it. If you don't want to use this shit, you can use other stuff. I'm going to put pizza sauce on the top of this. More, just a little bit more. A jar and a half. Manifest, guys, manifest. To the top of this, we're going to add our cheese. Mozzarella and Parmesan is kind of what I'm going to put over the whole top of this. So I used the whole 8-ounce bag. You can add extra if you want extra cheese. That's fine. I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese now to the top of this. I love Parmesan cheese, so it's got such a salty, nutty flavor. Love Parmesan cheese. Add down pepperoni. Quick and easy dip. It really is. All right, I'm just going to put down some pieces of pepperoni. Now on the top, I'm going to add peppers, onions, and black olives. Again, I'll probably only put black olives in half. More than half. This is my daughter's picky. I got a baguette. Nice and crusty. I'm going to slice that up, pop it in the oven for a few moments with a little bit of olive oil. and then call it a day. That's about good for me. I got enough veggies on there, I feel like. Lots of sliced black olives, because I love black olives. I said you do not have to add this stuff. You can add whatever you like for toppings. You just want that cheese and like that cream cheese layer, and then the pizza sauce layer, really. All right. There she is, ready to go. Now I'm going to pop her in the oven until she's warmed through, creamy, bubbly, and golden. Okay, guys. Hubby is cutting open the pork loin, butterflying it so I can get ready to stuff it. So I'm going to show you what I stuff it with. I'm going to do mild to hot sausage. I have mild because, you know, I ordered my shit. The bitch is lazy today. So they gave me Italian pork sausage, so that's what I'm going to put in here. And I'm just going to add crushed red, like a little bit of crushed red pepper to it, basically, with my other seasonings. I'm doing 2 packages because I want to have a nice filling in there. I sometimes do apples and herbs, which is really yummy. I like it that way too. It's just the way he requested it, so this is what we're doing. So Italian sausage is in. I'm gonna break this all up flat, and then I'm gonna add my seasonings, my herbs to this. All right, Chaos Besties, I got this all kind of mushed up. Now we're gonna season our fucking food, okay? So to this, I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning. Salt, because we're seasoning our fucking food. Pepper. That barbecue rub that I made, and I showed you guys how I make it. Gotta break it up. It's the brown sugar in there, so a little bit of barbecue rub. And because I couldn't get mild, we're gonna add, or hot, I'm gonna add some crushed red pepper. Not too much because we do have the kids eating it with us, so I'm also going to add, I had leftover peppers and onions from our pizza dip, so I'm gonna throw that in there. Why not? Garlic powder. Ordered thyme and rosemary, and all I got was rosemary. So, sprigs of rosemary in there. Just make sure you break it up because you could chop this up too. I want to make sure there's no like big pieces like this. So, love the smell of rosemary. All right, Chaos Besties, I'm going to get this mixed all together, incorporated, and then our filling will be good to go. And then I can work on the porchetta and seasoning that and getting it rolled and then wrapped in our bacon. So I will get this mixed, incorporated, and then we will be back with the porchetta. Okay, Chaos Besties, before I show you me seasoning and filling and wrapping the porchetta, I'm going to take some bacon. I put some plastic wrap down on top of a cutting board. I'm going to lay out my bacon. So then once my porchetta is seasoned, we can plop it onto the saran wrap with the bacon on it and roll it up to get it nice and tight so that bacon adheres to that porchetta. So we're just going to lay out our bacon. Nice, we're just going to lay it this way. I'm going to slightly overlap my bacon pieces, but we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to get this down on our board and the plastic wrap, and then we will be good to go. I'll show you the seasoning of the porchetta. I just wanted to show you guys kind of how I just lay this out into plastic wrap so then we can just roll it. Okay, Chaos Besties. Here is our beautiful porchetta that is butterflied. So now we're going to season our fucking food. Every layer, right? I know I stress that so much. First, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of sea salt, some flaky salt. So perfect. Italian seasoning on the inside. Garlic powder. Perfect. Pepper. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to watch the game at the same time. Multitasking. Let's go, Pats. I'm ready for it this year. I'm just going to use a dash of that barbecue seasoning that I made. All right. I'm going to pat this baby in. And then let me show you what the outside is going to have. All right. So now on the back side, wash my hands. Okay. So the top side, the outside of our porchetta. I like to keep it light and fresh normally because, like I said, I normally do herbs. So I'm going to hit this with, I'm blind, guys. I'm staring right at it, I bet you. Some lemon. But first, so I'm blind. A little bit of our flaky salt. Not too much because this is going to be wrapped in bacon, right? But we still want to season every layer. So to the top, I'm going to add a little drizzle of oil. Take two. A little drizzle of oil. There we go. I like to loosen up my lemon because I'm going to also use some lemon juice on the outside of this. But first, some lemon zest. The lemon complements the herbs very well. It also gives it a fresh aspect, right? Because you have a lot of fat. A lot of fat with that bacon. We're going to have a lot of fat, the sausage on the inside. So the herb and the lemon give it some freshness. So it's not so heavy. So I'm just going to zest this.
A few moments later.
All right. So zest like one whole lemon pretty much on the outside of this. Okay. I'm going to squeeze some of the lemon on here in a minute. So some Italian seasoning. A couple pieces of rosemary. So just a couple pieces on there. All right, add some rosemary onto there. Perfect. Just a very little bit of barbecue seasoning to the top of this. So I'm using mainly the barbecue seasoning because of the sausage, and we're doing this on the grill, so it's more like a barbecue one. And then I'm gonna just gonna squeeze, make sure you got no seeds in here. Hit it with a little bit of fresh lemon juice. Smells fantastic. Now we get to stuff it. So flip this bad boy over. We're nice and seasoned on both sides. I'm going to grab our bacon, throw this on top of that, our porchetta on top of it, and I will be right back to show you how to stuff and roll it. Okay, Chaos Besties, this is how I've laid out my bacon. Now, before I put my porchetta on top of this, I'm going to hit the bacon with some more seasoning because we're seasoning our fucking food, right? That's what we like to do. We want our shit to be flavorful. All right. Not going to add salt or anything here because it's bacon, right? So this is the inside. Once I get it rolled, I'm going to obviously season, so I'm going to rub this dry rub on the outside as well. All right, I got our porchetta. So remember, this is the top side with the lemon zest and the herbs. We're going to slap this baby right into the middle of our bacon. Now we're going to add our filling. Remember, this has peppers, onions, all that stuff in there. We're just going to flatten this right onto the top of this. We're just going to press this down into the top. All right, so now we're going to get this rolled up. I got all of our sausage on here. Let's get this rolled up. All right, I got our sausage on top of our porchetta. Now I'm going to roll this, get it nice and tight, and then I might let it sit for a minute while we get the grill prepared. If you can wrap this and let it sit overnight, the bacon's going to adhere to that porchetta a little bit more. I'm still going to wrap it with kitchen twine either way, so that'll help as well. But yeah, whenever you're wrapping with bacon, if you can get that to adhere, it's going to be better. So now we're going to attempt to get this rolled up. All right, we got it nice and rolled up. I'm gonna keep it nice and tight. Hit it with some kitchen twine after we let it set for a minute. All right, guys, our porchetta has rested a little bit. The grill is ready for us. So now we're just gonna kitchen twine it, and I'm gonna hit it with some of that homemade barbecue rub over the top. So, wrap this. All right, let me get this twined up, and we'll be right back. All right, Chaos Besties, we have her twined. I seasoned the other side of it, so we're good to go there. Just going to hit it with some more of this dry rub all over. And then we're going to pop her on the grill in direct heat for a couple hours. Nice and slow. All right, she's ready to go on the grill for a couple hours. And then I cannot wait. I'll show you guys how I do the sides. Okay, our pizza dip is out of the oven. Looks beautiful. I sliced up a baguette, drizzled it with some oil and some Italian seasoning. And now I get to try this for you guys. Look at that. Let's see. It's probably going to be lava. I'm telling you, bring this in your next party, football party. This is going to be a hit. All right, Chaos Besties, we got our porchetta going on the grill. Cannot wait till it's done. It's going to be delicious. Let's talk fondant potatoes. It's just basically melting potatoes. It's a French term. That's why it's called fondant. I'm going to take potatoes. You can make them all uniform if you'd like. I use like a little circle cutter. And then I chopped off the ends of my potatoes. And then I'm just going to slice them. Is what I'm going to do. So basically how fondant potatoes are cooked is they're going to be seared on a very high heat, like almost like a steak, on each side for a couple minutes. Then you throw some butter and herbs in there and you baste it for a couple more minutes. Add some chicken broth, pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes or so, and they're literally melt in your mouth. My kids love them. I'm just going to cut down our little potatoes like this. So small. You can do them thicker if you kind of keep them the same size though, because so that way they all cook evenly. I can't sit here and pop these little bad boys out. And then I do keep all my extras and stuff, and I fry those up in a separate pan. So we're not wasting anything. All right, I'm going to get these all circled up, and I will be back with y'all shortly. All right, Chaos Besties. Butter is just about melted. I'm going to let this get hot for a second, and then we're going to add in the potatoes. Pan's nice and hot. I'm going to pop down our potatoes so they look about like that. I'm just going to pop them in there into the butter. Don't want to overcrowd them either. You want them to have some room. All right, so we're going to start with that. I'm going to add a little bit more butter in the pan. I'm going to drop some butter down in there. Let this melt down. I'm going to get these nice and seared on one side. Flip them. We're going to season our food. So let's just season our fucking food. So pepper and salt. A little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm going to let this butter melt down. Let these sit for a second. Then we'll flip these bad boys over. Getting nice and golden. I'm going to turn down this heat just a tad bit while I flip them. So that's what you kind of want them to look like. That's kind of like what you want to get on them. I want them to burn. Just get a nice crust on them. And then we're going to get these flipped. So let me just flip these over really quick. All right, so these look beautiful. Nice crust on them, nice and golden. They look like scallops almost. I'm going to season my fucking food again. So a little bit more salt. Remember, there's a lot of butter in here, so that's going to have, if you use salted butter, that's going to have salt, some pepper, Italian seasoning. I have not, you want to wait to add the garlic probably once the bottom part gets crusted in, because again, you don't want your garlic to burn. So, and that can happen when you're cooking it with a lot of butter and very fast. So I'm going to wait till the crust gets formed on the bottom of these. I'm going to stick to a stick of butter in there because that's, and rosemary. So butter, rosemary, we're going to baste it, garlic, and just keep basting it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then we'll get off the heat, add in our chicken broth, and pop it in the oven. So I can tell that this is already getting crusted. We're going to add in our garlic now and our butter because it's got a nice crust. So I'm going to use a hefty amount of garlic. Rosemary. More butter. So we're going to get our base going pretty much. So just warming up this garlic, this butter, the rosemary. Oh my God, it's so fragrant. I'm going to let this butter get nice and melted down. I'm going to baste this with a spoon. Potatoes for like 2 minutes. Wait for this butter to get frothy that's in here. And then we'll take it off the heat and add our chicken broth to it. All right, our butter and potatoes and rosemary is all nice and down with our garlic. I'm just going to baste the top of these with a little bit of the butter. And I'm going to shut this off. Just make sure my potatoes are nice and basted. They look beautiful. They smell good. Fantastic. Now I'm going to add in some chicken broth. I'm just going to add in enough to cover the potatoes about halfway. Just why you take it off the heat first. So just do a little bit at a time because the pan's very hot. Both my burners are hot right now, so. Be very careful when you're doing this. A little bit more. All right. Now we're going to pop these bad boys in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350. And I will show you guys the end result. Back to our green beans. They were boiled, parboiled. And now I've melted down some butter. A hefty amount of butter is going to go into this pan. Then I'm going to throw the green beans in here to my pan. All right, and then I'm just going to get these all mixed in the butter. Give them a good toss in that butter. What do? Season our fucking food. Salt. Good amount of salt. It's okay. A bit of pepper. All right, mix that up so the seasonings get evenly coated. I'm just going to let this go for a couple minutes. Pop some garlic in there. Green beans are nice and cooked. So, didn't I tell y'all that this would not last? I mean, saute this up for like a minute or two, and these babies are done. These are what our garlic, green beans look like. Our porchetta, nice and rested, looks fantastic. Bacon's nice and crispy. I'm going to remove the twine, and we're going to cut into it. Okay, everything is done. This porchetta looks fantastic. Looks like we are going to be playing the Seahawks. Anyway, squirrel. Porchetta is done. Looks beautiful. Fondant potatoes are done. Green beans are done. We're going to taste test everything. Look at this porchetta. Look at that. What our potatoes look like. And these are just going to melt right in our mouth. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of flaky salt. A little bit of sea salt. Let's give it a taste test. So, what should we try first? I'm going to go in with the potatoes just because These bad boys look good. Melt. Melt like butter. And then, oh my God, so much flavor. You can taste the rosemary, the garlic. The sear on it is beautiful. Ugh. Love those. What do you mean? Not mushy. Not super crunchy either. Because we parboiled those. Now let's get into this porchetta because I am excited for this. All right. Let's try this. It's so juicy. I can really taste the rosemary, which is phenomenal. Delicious. You can taste the sausage, like everything. The saltiness from the bacon, the crispiness. 10 out of 10. Let me know if you're going to try it. Let me know what I should try next. But that's it. We are all done.